All right, guys. Today we are...
Fire the bike up. There we go. Let it think a little bit, and now hit the start button. There we go. Perfect.
All right, so we're on the Roadmaster Dark Horse, the 2022 Indian Roadmaster Dark Horse. And away we go. Now, we just rode that bike that you saw there, the Indian Pursuit. Now we're going to be off on essentially what's the Chieftain with a top case on the back. The Pursuit is the Challenger with the top case on the back. And what I can tell you right now, I got an adjustable windshield. I'm going to leave this windshield down because it doesn't go up quite as high as the other. Riding position on this is just a little bit more forward. And when I say forward, than the Challenger. Oh, you know what? Woo! Oh, it's a little bit more torquey than the Challenger, that's for sure. You feel closer to this dash because the Challenger is a longer bike. The handlebars come back towards you more, but this is still a comfortable ride. And the Roadmaster, not only do you get the top case, but you also get these wind guards for your legs. And I'm guessing that either they're equipped with or come optional with warmers for your legs in colder weather. Oh. All right, so maybe, yeah, maybe just let out too early in the clutch that last time. We are in standard mode here. You can change the ride modes here using the touch screen. Even though you've got a nice clear display here, you've also got different ways in which you can toggle through what you see here on the screen. And then at all times you have your analog gauges on the left and right here, with the speedometer on the left and on the tachometer on the right. Also your gear here on the right. Go over the controls real quickly before we get into the ride. On the right hand side we have the power button, and we also have your kill switch. Just below that we have our cruise control settings, and then your windshield up and down. On the left we have the horn. You got your lights for your brights and your bright flashers. Turn signal. You've got your menu toggle switches below that. So that's all the switches that you get here. But yeah, we're here on the Indian Dark Horse. It says here we got 126 max foot-pounds of torque. The Dark Horse comes with standard ride command, which is this nice beautiful display here that comes with Apple CarPlay. The largest, most customizable infotainment system on two wheels. That's not sure why it says that. Maybe this is a dated reference, because I know that the BMW R18B, those versions have a gigantic 10-inch display. Yeah, so we must have just let out that clutch too early, because here we're giving it a good amount of throttle, and it didn't surge forward like we did there early on. So just for fun, let's just put this thing into sport mode now. We'll give you some my statistics here to let you know. Oh yeah, that's sportier. I'll give you my statistics now. I'm 5'6" with a 30-inch inseam. My arm span is about 70 inches. I have long-ish arms, but this bike, even though the Pursuit that I rode earlier was a good fit, this bike fits me even better. It's a little bit smaller. The weight is going to be a little bit lighter. I'll have those weight specs for you here on the screen. But at the same time, it still feels like a very comfortable ride. Not quite as comfortable. I'd say the seat is more comfortable on the Pursuit, but this is a comfy seat. It's a little firmer. It has a nice back to it. Not like a backrest, which I'm sure you can add, but standard seat has a nice back to it, which that puts you nicely firmly in place, but also is extremely comfortable. Slow speed maneuvering, good. Woo! Here we go. Woo-wee! Yeah, that is fun. So sport mode, not feeling as big of a difference from standard to sport mode as I did on the Pursuit, but still a fun ride mode there in sport mode. Nice and peppy, but not too much. I mean, you know, you don't want to get too spirited when you ride a motorcycle like this, because it's a lot there's a lot of weight to throw around. Woohoo! All right. These mirrors here, they kind of got this teardrop look to them. Attached to the handlebars and not to the fairing. And no obstruction still, though, with my shoulders. So you get a good view out of these mirrors. Lots of information here on the screen. You've got your ride mode here, navigation if you'd like, on the screen. And then you've got your direction, your gear, tachometer, your range, and speed. All this information here for you on the screen, which can be adjusted. Like I said, you can adjust the screen to give you different information. I won't go through all that. I'll have a link here on the video for you to go to another video that's going to give you information about the infotainment system. It's not my video, but I'll make sure that you'll get a good idea of the capability of what you have here, because you also have speakers here and speakers in the top case and not in the side case, so you're going to get good sound out of that. Now, as we're into the closer to freeway speed here at about 60 miles an hour, there's quite a bit of buffeting here from this windshield, so we're going to lower the windshield, get a good look over it. That buffeting now is kind of hitting me in the face, so I mean, you pick your poison. This is why I don't ride with a windshield, because that turbulence to me is just unbearable, especially if you're talking about going on long distances. So I mean, it's up to you. The wind is definitely more bearable the higher you put this windshield, but at the low position, it's hitting you right in the face. At least for someone at my height and size. But these floorboards here, nice and comfortable. It's not a reach at all to reach this nice big rear brake pad, and a nice big fat shifter peg on the left. All these things very accessible for someone my height. And I'll put the seat height here down as we touch down with our feet. Maybe we won't stop here. I'll just put them down. So I can't get full feet down like I could on the Challenger. I'm guessing the seat height on this bike is going to be a little bit higher than it is on the, well, not the Challenger, but the Pursuit. But still, I can get two big pads, the front pads of my feet down. Doesn't feel like the big bike that it is. I'm guessing it's coming in at a little over 800 pounds, and I'll have those specs for you on the screen. But some nice little touches here on the Indian Roadmaster Dark Horse. Some nice little Indian insignias placed here. You got a case here for, it looks like a charging cord up on top there. Some buttons here, looks like your grip warmers control here, and then a bike lock, which I'm guessing is like a lock that's going to lock everything, maybe your steering as well as your cases, with one touch. This bike probably has an optional auxiliary light button that you can install there, and then you've got your charge available there for your old lighter cable. Let's see. Oh no, it isn't a lighter cable. It just has the lighter cable shape. I don't know if that's a proprietary cord or not, but it looks just like a, I'm not sure what that is. I'll have that information to you if I can find it. Woo-hoo! Yeah. So offline, bike feels really peppy, but again, not overwhelming as to make you feel like you're maybe a little unsafe or unsteady on a bike this size. But yeah, just enough. Really fun. And so far I'm having a blast here on the Indian Roadmaster. And I love the styling. The blacked out styling to me is always preferable to the chrome. Traditional riders are going to love the chrome and love the options on the standard Roadmaster, but for me, the darked out, blacked out look I love. And this color is pretty cool too. It's got that flake in the paint to give it a little even more of a nicer look. Oh yeah, it's slow wide sweeping turn. This bike leans over really nicely. I feel like I'm in total control, and I've ridden big bikes like this before, where you get into a big turn like that and the bike is kind of wanting to stand back up, or it's not feeling super confident, and that's not what I feel here in the Indian Roadmaster. All right, so we're going to take this out of sport mode, because here in stop and go traffic, sport mode is just, it's not fun, because you're surging forward with more torque. And yeah, that's just not the way you want to ride when you're riding in either traffic or in stop and go, which is what we're doing now. So we've got a big wide split here between these cars. You know what? We're gonna do it because that's nice. You know, I don't usually like to do that, but because there was such a wide split in those cars and I can get up in front, lane splitting is legal here in California where we are. It's 85 degrees here in the morning where I am, and you don't want to wait at stoplights, especially with you know, I can feel a little bit of heat coming off the engine, and because you've got these leg guards which are keeping the wind off of your legs, I can feel that heat even more. You know, by all means, it's not like an unbearable or like, oh my god, my legs are on fire kind of heat, but I mean, it is noticeable, and I will say that just for those of you who might have that question in mind. Just a short ride today, guys. Here you also have the tire pressure on here, which, you know, on a long trip you want to be monitoring that, I'm guessing, because if you start to see a decrease in that because you got maybe a screw in your tire or something and your tire's deflating slowly, you want to catch that early and before like you get an alarm from your tire pressure monitoring system. So that's really nice too. But like I said, short ride on this Roadmaster today. So before we get to the end, I wanted to give you guys a chance to ask questions. If you have questions about the 2022 Indian Roadmaster, make sure you leave those questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I think maybe my question would be, before riding this, oh, it feels really good here, really well balanced. Yeah, you know, when we're almost stopped there, it's a kind of a good gauge for me if the bike feels like it wants to tip over as soon as we start slowing down. But this bike stays upright really confidently. But my question is, when I ride bikes that are basically the same model with a top case, which is the case here with the Roadmaster, it's basically a Chieftain with a top case on the back. How different it feels, or maybe how much, maybe I always wonder. And obviously it's empty, but if we were to load that thing up, you're going to get a different feel. But for now, with the top case empty, the feel of riding the Roadmaster isn't all too different than riding just the standard Chieftain. It's very confident in slow speed, very confident in the higher speed turning, the big winding turns. I didn't really get a chance to do like a big higher speed sweeping turn, but I can tell just by feeling this bike, you know, I'm maneuvering it, getting a feel for how it handles, and it's just a well-performing bike all the way around. I mean, if I could change anything about this bike, it would be to remove this windshield altogether and just kind of have one of those lower windshields. I mean, that might be like a cardinal sin. I might have just made a bunch of people who ride touring bikes angry by saying that, but for somebody who just doesn't like that turbulence coming up over my head, that's the only thing I would change, because this bike overall is very, very confident to ride. It's fun to ride, super comfortable, has a little bit of sportiness to it even there in standard mode, and then it also has tour mode as its third riding mode, which I'm guessing maybe in touring mode it's going to give you some higher end torque, so that when you're on the highways and you're wanting to pass, you'll have some torque left when you're up in the higher rev range. I could be wrong there. I'll have that information on the screen there if I'm wrong, but that's what I would guess. So I did mention that I didn't feel like the heat was overwhelming. The pipes here are right, at least on the right side, I can feel the most. You do have that heat shield on the pipe, but that's where I can feel the most heat, is from that exhaust, and right here on what looks like the big air cleaner here on the left. All right, this is the end of the ride, guys. If you liked this video, enjoyed it, found anything helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you're out there riding, please be safe, be kind to one another. My name is Eric, I am that one guy, and I am out.